one of the most draconian, most important, unconstitutional laws is going up for debate. And of course, you're not getting the full context. And of course, there's a lot of propaganda to ram this law through. So Obama could have a blank check to do what he wants and also a safety net to protect him against any legal repercussions of his illegal activities. Now, let me break down the propaganda. Yesterday, the White House had a press conference announcing the death of Kayla Mueller, a peace activist, a pro-Palestinian activist, which you don't hear about. She wanted a better world, and now her name is being used as propaganda to justify the AUMF, the Authorization for Use of Military Force. Now, during the announcement by the White House yesterday, they announced her death, and then they talked about how we need to pass this AUMF. They're using an emotional reaction out of you to pass and ram this law through. Now, what is the AUMF? And it's sickening because Kayla Mueller wanted her life to be recognized for peace, for helping people, for not killing people, and now her name is being used to justify that. Now let me explain why. The AUMF, the Authorization for Military Force, which Barack Obama was against in 2003, in 2008, he's actually for it now, which obviously the two-faced hypocrite words don't mean nothing because you promised a campaign of change and hope, of no perpetual war, of no torture, of no spying, and he continued and expanded those programs. The AUMF has been cited in many laws, in many Supreme Court cases, whether it's the ACLU versus the NSA, or Hamdan versus Rumsfeld. It is used to justify Guantanamo Bay, rectal force feeding of people, some of whom were innocent, and CIA torture programs of the most horrific, god-awful things you could do to human beings, social experiments that were done on some innocent human beings. It is used to justify that. It is used to justify massive data collections. The government uses this as a blank check to do what they want. The AUMF is also used to justify the deposition matrix. Now, what's the deposition matrix? It sounds really confusing, of course, because they think of these really confusing names, so you don't really understand for what they really are. The deposition matrix is Obama's kill list. Obama has a kill list, a list of people that he signs off on and has assassinated with U.S. drones. Now, of course, Eric Holder just recently admitted, because the White House has been very secretive about this, because they don't want to admit to their illegal wrongdoings. They don't want to admit to any mistakes. They don't want to be held accountable in any way, shape, or form. But Holder just admitted that 4 U.S. citizens, 4 Americans, were killed by Obama's deposition matrix. And 3 of them, supposedly, by the admission of Eric Holder, 3 of them were done by accident. One of them being a 16-year-old American citizen, which we asked Obama's spokesperson all the way back in 2012, why the U.S. government, why Barack Obama killed a 16-year-old American innocent citizen. And of course he's innocent now. They're admitting that it was a mistake, that they drone bombed him. And Robert Gibbs responded with, he should have had a better father. That's the only justification that they had, because they have no justification for their horrible illegal activities of what they did. And now we also hear in the news reports, the New York Times reported just last month of how the CIA had a successful drone strike in Yemen that killed 3 Al-Qaeda members. They forgot to mention one of them was a 13-year-old Yemeni boy burned to death by a U.S. drone. Of course, they got their sources and their information from, guess who? U.S. intelligence assets, the U.S. government, which is feeding them propaganda, and they're just regurgitating it. Now, of course, not many people are even mentioning the fact that a major school shooting happened just today in North Carolina, where 3 Muslims were killed. See, this is the news that you're not getting anywhere else. The mainstream media, which obviously loves school shootings, obsesses about school shootings all the time. In this situations where 3 Muslims are killed, these were their major headlines. Nude pics of American tourists in Cambodia, Martha Stewart cooking a ribeye steak, baby swapping, sexy symbols on ancient cult sites in Israel. None of them at first mentioned 3 Muslims shot and killed in Chapel Hill. Now they're finally starting to talk about this because of social media pressure, because everyone in social media is exposing their hypocrisy, exposing how the U.S. mainstream media, CNN, ABC, Fox, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, they're all getting their information from the U.S. government, all getting their sources from the U.S. government, and they're perpetuating this propaganda on you, using people who are really for peace, using people who are really pro-Palestinian, using these people as a way to justify this divide and conquer that's happening globally. If you're a different race, if you're a different religion, if you're a different ethnicity, we're going to put you off against each other so we don't show you how really we're all in this together. No, we want to divide and conquer to keep you separated, to keep you in this constant emotional phase of fear, of being afraid, of being angry about innocent people being murdered. And it's only perpetuating because we're being thrown off to both sides. And then people like Barack Obama, the two-faced hypocrite dictator who wants more laws and powers, which he was originally against, is calling for. These people only are able to do this because you're not able to get the full picture. You're not able to connect the dots and see the propaganda being thrown your way. We need to stop the AUMF. We need to get more social media pressure on exposing what the AUMF is. If you want to stop the legal justification for spying, for torture, for drone bombing, for murdering, for destroying any sense of rule of law, you will do anything you can right now just to get the word out about stopping the AUMF. Share this video with your friends. We're going to have more videos breaking down the propaganda, connecting the dots for you here on youtube.com/WeAreChange.